Yo, what's going on? Okay, this is going to be a real quick one. I haven't done one of these in a long time, but it's going to be a really quick review on the UFC 202 McGregor versus Diaz, the second fight. I actually had Diaz winning, but this fight overall as an encompassing kind of theme is that, both fighters showed really true grit, really showed heart, and to be honest, stubbornness. Stubbornness to, even though they were fatigued, they didn't want to let the other one overcome the certain situation that they were in. So I know that may not make sense, but in my brain it does. But anyway, round one. We'll get this real quick, guys. Round one, Conor McGregor definitely showed a lot of patience this time around, even in the first round compared to the first fight that they had, where McGregor lost to rear naked choke in the second round to Nate Diaz. Conor McGregor definitely opened up with the leg kicks, which I kind of expected, obviously with Nate Diaz's fight with Rafael dos Anjos taking advantage of that leg kick and really making Nate Diaz's leg black and blue. So Conor opened up with those leg kicks, low leg kicks. Conor's patience was really good. And Nate's pressure at around the 2-minute mark, where I think Nate knew that Conor didn't like that certain pressure. We saw that he would duck and run away within the first round, but I thought that was him trying to gain more of just relax, like not to get too in front of himself, not to get himself too hyped up, because he dropped him twice in the first round. Conor McGregor dropped Nate Diaz twice in the first round. So I had Conor McGregor winning that round. Going into the round two, Conor connects with a looping left hook, which drops Nate again for that second round. So that means Nate Diaz was dropped 3 times, and Nate was dropped again for the 4th time. And then we noticed that at the 1 minute 20-second mark that the momentum changed significantly into the favor of Nate Diaz. We noticed that Conor was getting just a little fatigued, but not as bad as the later rounds, as we'll get into those soon. But yes, the tide of the fight completely changed. But for the first half, I feel like Conor was definitely in charge of that second round, so I actually had that round as a tie. Now, in the third round, Conor was going into the third round very, very tired. He looked fatigued, more fatigued than the second round. Nate looking worse for wear, but still overall fine, like in terms of his gas and his energy and his focus and concentration. Nate applied pressure in the last 30 seconds of the fight, which definitely I think cemented his win on that third round. So I think Conor McGregor definitely dipped low in terms of energy and his gas, but I felt that Nate won that one. Round 4, I put here as a little side note, terrible advice from Conor's corner. So what I mean by that is his coach said initiate the clinch and let that give you a little bit of time to recover. And at this moment, I said to myself, I'll be surprised if this goes to the decision. I'll be very surprised. Just because going into the fourth, even going into the third, Conor was definitely down and out. And going into the fourth round, he was very down and out. But Nate Diaz still looked very clean, looks very precise in his striking. But that's definitely something that I noticed. It was definitely clinched orientated with this fourth round. But the exchange between the two was still great. It was a great exchange between the two. Active movement and somewhat sharp combinations. And what I mean by that, it just wasn't later on in the later rounds, your arms begin to get tired. They start to get fatigued. And I didn't see that a lot between either the two. Nate Diaz's combinations were still solid, still working on those levels. But but the same goes for Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was putting together sharp combinations as well. So I actually had that round tied. I was unsure with who won that one. And the fifth round, honestly, I wasn't making notes throughout that entire fifth round. What I noticed, though, that got worse and worse and worse as the rounds came on is that Conor McGregor started to run away. And obviously we know why. I don't want to say he ran away because that sounds like he was definitely scared, but I think he was trying to conserve energy as best as he could going into this fourth round. And the running away signifies that he knows he was tired. We all knew that he was tired, but he just wanted that leeway to get a wind back. But he did have a second wind. Nate Diaz took down McGregor in the last, I want to say, 10 seconds of the round and got a solid ground and pound to kind of close out that fifth round. But honestly, I had Nate winning this. I had Nate Diaz winning this by decision, by split decision. But surprisingly, it was majority decision to McGregor. Again, I'm a big McGregor fan, and I'm stoked that he won because that means that there's going to be a rubber match, meaning the third match, which means more money for them and more money for the company. But yeah, I was very stoked to watch that fight. That was a very, very good one. I really enjoyed that one. If you have any questions or queries or comments, please comment below. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. But, yeah. Okay, let's play this little sound. Whoa. I didn't even know. Plug in headphones to listen while microphone is on or switch. I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, comment below.